United Way Niagara surpassed its $5 million goal for the 2022 campaign, setting a new one-year record in the process. CEO Frances Hallworth is in our studio. Frances, did you expect that?
Well, that's interesting. We didn't even know what to do when we were setting the goal. Never mind what we were going to expect at the end of the campaign.
Fundraising is kind of it's really hard to predict right now after the last couple of years.
It's really hard to predict. We had no idea how many people were going to be feeling like they're back to normal, finances more normal in the office. So it was tough setting the goal, and we were surprised that we exceeded. That's for sure.
Sean Kennedy, president of Niagara College, as the campaign chair, his enthusiasm was really a big part of this campaign.
His enthusiasm started back, I think he started like early spring, late fall, and his enthusiasm never changed the entire time. He is incredibly passionate about anything that he chooses to do and has a ton of energy, which is so motivating for us. So it was very exciting to work with him. And you know, we have a few special projects going with Niagara College, so that made it even strengthen our partnership more.
You came together last week at the Parkway and celebrated this success. What was that like?
Well, since our last celebration was 2019, this was so exciting. For many of us, there were people we saw who we hadn't seen for ages, and everyone was in such a good mood, glad to see each other. The speakers were good. It was wonderful to see all the awards, and people had a great time, and we always try to get done a bit early, as you probably know, and people appreciate that, so they can have a good time and still get home. But I need to say thank you very much for being RMC. That was perfect.
That was the secret here. We weren't going to mention that, but it was my pleasure to lead the ceremony.
Yeah, it's especially nice to have you part of the evening because we do these periodically throughout the year. So you know a lot about United Way. So having someone at the microphone who is really used to talking about United Way makes the evening go so much smoother.
Well, I was very honored to be up on stage and to see the contributions of some of these amazing people, Niagara College and what they did. Yeah. I'm not talking about Sean Kennedy, I'm talking about Michelle O'Keefe and her team leading the staff, also General Motors propulsion plant. What can you say about them?
Oh my gosh. Well, every year they are the largest employee campaign that we have. And, you know, they have their difficult times too. You know, it doesn't seem to matter. They've had challenging times, but yet their employee campaign is always absolutely stellar.
We're looking forward to the 2023 campaign. When will you kick that off?
So it will kick off always the week after people go back to school, and we'll be doing that again with a fire truck pull.
That sounds like fun again, right? So this will be the second year for that?
It is. So we've been doing that instead of our breakfast. Last year we did it because we wanted to include people who weren't comfortable, you know, being around hundreds of other people. But it turns out to be so much fun that we're going to do it again for our kickoff.
And it's really attention getting as well.
It is, and it's a fun day, and everyone likes to be outside, and you know, hopefully it'll be sunny and warm, and a little competition is always fun amongst different companies.
When you look at that $5.27 million, where does that money go?
Right, so it goes to over 75 agencies, over 130 programs, but it goes into communities all across Niagara. So that assists people with food banks and food pantries and shelters and mental health, and we do the backpack program for kids. Mentoring programs for youth. So it's all across Niagara.
Does that list of 130 agencies, is that what you said, 130 agencies? Does that list grow year by year?
Sometimes it grows. So it did last year, and that is because of an amazing gift that we received to assist organizations that were helping people with food. So we were able to put out about, over $400,000 on top of their regular allocations to help with the cost of food and the increased use of, food banks and pantries and shelters.
A record number of clients this year through United Way agencies.
Unbelievable. I'm hearing stories that there are a number of schools struggling. So many kids using the nutrition programs at the schools that it's hard to keep up. The cost of food, excuse me, the cost of food has become so high, and the number of youth that are using the programs.
I met a young lady last Wednesday named Isha, who is actually in charge of promoting the living wage campaign, which you have taken over. United Way has taken over.
Yes, with the help of the Niagara Prosperity Initiative and Niagara Region. So we applied for that RFP and won it, and so we were able to hire Isha with that. And Isha is out talking to employers and educating them about the benefits of living wage, not just to the people who are receiving it, but also to the employer. You're able to attract and retain people more. And I mean, one of the best ways we can help people is to increase their wages.
It just fits perfectly with everything that United Way does.
It does, and that's why when we saw the region come out with that RFP, we thought it just makes sense for us to do that, because it's really, the basic philosophy of what we believe. It's the best way to help people.
Besides the September 12th kickoff with the fire truck pull, what else is coming up?
So we have 2 golf tournaments coming up. We have one at Lookout, and then we have one at Cherry Hill. So if you're interested in playing golf, please call our office or go on our website, and we would love to have you out. But hurry, because there are not a ton of spots left.
Francis, you're not going to tell us what your goal is going to be for 2023 yet?
Oh my gosh, we're still wrapping up this last campaign. So you asked me that towards the end of August.
Perfect.
We try to talk to our employers throughout the year. What's changing? Are you hiring? Are you laying off? Do we have any new campaigns coming on? And also, as you know, setting our goal also depends on some large one-time gifts that we receive. So we wait till right near the end to set that goal.
Well, we'll make that a date. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.